I'm in some woods. Wario's Woods. This is the best intro I can come up with, sue me. Wario's Woods for the Super Nintendo. It's a wee Wario. It's the early to mid 90s. The NES was on its way out and being replaced by the superior Super NES. And before its demise, developers tried to give the console a good send-off with games such as Little Samson. The last officially licensed game for the NES was Wario's Woods. Released in December 10th, 1994, it was the only game to be released for the system to have been rated by the ESRB. But we're not talking about this particular version, we're talking about its superior brother. Wario's Woods for the Super NES. This game was released on December 10th, 1994, along with the NES counterpart. They both received mildly positive reviews but aren't mostly talked about in the retro community. Now, I for one got this along with my SNES when I first bought the system, and I think it's worth a look at because I'm a Wario fan myself, and it's interesting to see his early beginnings. So let's take a better look at Wario's Woods. In the period of the puzzle craze, this game tried to stand out. Developed by Nintendo R&D 1, you control Toad and are tasked to clear the playfield of monsters so you can move on and get the bling. You do this by lining up the monsters and putting down a bomb in either a horizontal, vertical, or diagonal row. The rows need 2 or more monsters or bombs to be considered a match. Toad can manipulate any part of the playfield by picking up individual pieces or an entire stack. He can also kick those bastards and walk over them at any time. Now the main game has a story behind it, so Wario has cast a spell over the peaceful woods. Wario casts a spell? I guess I can't blame Nintendo, they haven't really established Greedy Wario yet. So anyway, he takes over, Toad comes in out of nowhere with the help of a fairy named Wanda, and Birdo is also here for some reason. Whatever, the plot sucks, so let's continue with the game. Wanda is responsible for dropping bombs, and Birdo supplies encouragement. She also makes you aware of the time bar. When it runs out, she'll be replaced by Wario, and Wanda is replaced by a pigeon because Nintendo logic says so. The pigeon will drop more monsters. If you can last another bar of time, everything will go back to normal, and once you complete the round, you move on. But if you get trapped or filled to the top, it's game over. And that's how you play. As for the plot, who cares? It's a puzzle game. Moving on. The music was composed by Hiroaki Suga and Tadashi Akagami, and in all honesty, it's nothing to write home about. It's okay for a puzzler having nice flows all around, but it isn't really that notable. So that's all I can say here. Moving on. Thanks to the Super NES's superior memory, there are more options to be had. Seriously, there's an option menu. If you're in the competitive mood, you can choose between facing a computer or a friend. Now since I don't have any friends, As I was saying, since I don't have any friends, I usually play the computers, each with varying difficulty. If you want a challenge, the time race will keep you on your toes, and if you're a noob, the lessons will get you up to speed with what the game can do. So this game has a widespread variety of things to do, so it keeps the game interesting. For a while anyway. Moving on. After initially good reviews, both the SNES and NES version both faded out of the public eye, but it still has somewhat of a presence today, being released as a part of NES Remix 2 on the Wii U. It was also released for the Virtual Console and as a collectible in the GameCube game Animal Crossing. In Japan, the game got 2 alternate releases for the Super Famicom Satellaview, which was a modem add-on, and since the broadcast discontinued, they haven't seen the light of day since. So, what is my rate to play? It's a play. It's not your standard Tetris clone, but it's not a memorable puzzler. It's just an average game. With Wario. But that's only my opinion. If you have your own thoughts, leave a comment. If you like what you see, leave a like. If you think others could enjoy this, share it around the web. And if you want to see more, subscribe. Anyway, this has been BrianTheBlue Game Reviews, Wario's Woods, for the SNES.